Guys, GameStop should probably be out of business by now, as they are the literal blockbuster of the video game world. But instead, just Thursday morning in the pre-market, WallStreetBets got GameStop stock to an all-time high of $500 per share. Today we're going to be looking into what it is like to disregard old-time Wall Street altogether. We're going to figure out what has been going on and how long it will be going on for. So if you're trying to wrap your head around what has been going on for this past week, stick around, because we're getting into it.
If you don't listen that much, but some of y'all don't listen at all. The same shit they be pushing yo.
Welcome back, everybody, or if you're new here, my name is Sean Lucas, and for the past year or so, I've been making videos over the stock market. But never have I ever seen anything quite like this. It is actually so interesting to me that a group of people from Reddit have gotten together and really done something like this before. You know, it's unheard of. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, well, first of all, how'd you even get here? But secondly, we'll be getting into everything that you need to know the gist of what has been happening in the stock market and WallStreetBets and GameStop for the past week. So without further ado, and without wasting any more of your time, let's get into it. And of course, you guys know this. I say it in all my recent videos. I am just a YouTuber with a microphone. That's right here. You can't see it. It's off screen. But I'm a YouTuber with a microphone. Small YouTuber with a microphone. And if you don't mind, might as well go ahead and subscribe, because I'm just a small YouTuber with a microphone, and my opinions literally mean nothing. So let's get into it. Guys, first thing that you need to know about this is that WallStreetBets is an online community that mainly uses Reddit to communicate. They talk about different stocks and different plays that they can be making throughout the weeks, and basically doing everything opposite of what somebody from old-time Wall Street would be doing. Now, somebody that is highly respected and somebody that I struggle with saying their name or even pronouncing it in my own head, Chamath Palihapitiya. Now, he took some time to review WallStreetBets, and he said that he's come to the conclusion that there are 3 different types of people that use that website or Reddit page. Now, the first person that he points out is somebody that is doing some, actual credible research on companies, and they're looking for some long-term value investments. Now, the second person that he points out is somebody that was either in grade school or in high school during the 2008 financial crisis, and this type of person is mad at old Wall Street because of what happened during that time. They're mad that Wall Street took out all the risk. Wall Street during that time took all the risk in the world, and then left the retail investors and other people that are barely have anything to do with the stock market, to hold the baggage. These people might be asking, why did Wall Street get bailed out when, both my parents got laid off, That's the second type of person. Now, moving on to person number 3 is, the way that he described it is somebody that, top executives, apparently they have idea dinners. And that's the type of person that person number 3 is. They're on there to have idea dinners. They're literally on there like a top executive would at an idea dinner, doing those same type of conversations, but in full transparency, for free, on the forum, for all to read. You don't see that very often unless you go to WallStreetBets. Then you probably see it all the time. And all those 3 people are there to hopefully bring some power back to the retail investors, which, if you're not aware of, is very little. Now, for quite some time, WallStreetBets online, at least, has been the punchline to many jokes, and I'm included. I have used WallStreetBets maybe a few times as a quick little laugh. Tagging a crazy play or crazy trade with the hashtag WallStreetBets is the equivalent to that unathletic white guy halfway across the room throwing trash into a trash can, yelling Kobe. It usually doesn't work out. But, that's not necessarily the case anymore. Now they're, with what has been happening, they're starting to gain some credibility. So basically, and I found this just doing, a little bit of research, is that Wall Street's strategy for this past week has been finding companies, with a low stock price that really haven't been performing well. At least their company has been performing well during this pandemic era. They're kind of on the verge of bankruptcy, and they have a huge short position against them. And we can tell this because GameStop wasn't the only company that they targeted. WallStreetBets also targeted, along the side with GameStop, is AMC Theater, BlackBerry, and I think even Nokia. Now, what's crazy is that all these companies, what they have in common is that they all had huge bets against them. Hedge funds have literally lost billions, and I'm talking like $15 billion in total because of what WallStreetBets has done. I know of one company that literally had to go, file for bankruptcy because of how much money that they did not have to cover the short squeeze of what was going on. Sean, what's a short squeeze? That's a great question. A short squeeze occurs when a stock or other asset jumps sharply higher, forcing traders who had bet that the price was going to fall to buy it in order to forestall even greater losses. Their scramble to buy only adds to the upward pressure on the stock's price. A short squeeze accelerates a stock price rise as short sellers bail out to cut their losses. Contrarian investors try to anticipate a short squeeze and buy stocks that demonstrate a strong short interest. Both short sellers and contrarians are making risky moves. WallStreetBets. A wise investor has additional reasons for shorting or buying that stock. Okay, so starting off with GameStop, this is a 1 year, 1 day chart, and we literally cannot tell anything. We can't tell anything right now. Obviously, at first we can look at the price control for the 1 year, 1 day chart, and it's roughly $7.81 a share. We can't tell anything because 99% of the movement has happened in 0.01% of the time. So we're gonna drop this down to a 180 day, 4 hour chart to try to see anything. We're gonna try to see anything, and we still can't see anything that well. So you know what? I'm gonna drop it down even further. And we're gonna do a 10 day, 10 minute chart. Oh yeah, and we can definitely start to see some stuff here. Zooming in, we can see that Thursday morning, and that's when the majority of this script was actually written. Thursday morning, we hit a high of $513.12 in the pre-market, and then right before the bell, it surged down to 257-ish, and then as soon as the bell hit again, it was up nearly to $580 or $480, forgive me. Then dropped all the way back down, holy cow, to $112, $114, and ended up wrapping at where we are sitting now at the $311.99 mark. Now, if you are wondering, and if you're curious if there's a volume pocket in between the price control of the 1 year, 1 day or the 10 day, 10 minute chart and where we are currently sitting at the 311 mark, yeah, you'd be correct. Now, just looking at some articles that was posted by TOS, we can see that there was an article about Robinhood and how they had taken off GameStop and AMC off their trading platform. This article was saying that you could close out your positions in those stocks, but you wouldn't be able to create any new positions, which I actually had some mixed feelings about, and we'll be getting into that later in the video. But right now, we're going to be getting into future projections of GameStop. All right, so now my favorite part of every video I've ever made. We're looking at future projections of what GameStop or GME stock is going to be. And as you guys know, we like to look at the Walled Investor and CNN Business to see what they're going to tell us about GameStop. So as of 1/28/2021 at 8:32 in the morning, the Walled Investor is saying that GME or GameStop is at it, get it now territory, which in my eyes, even though this is kind of a running joke, is silly. Because why would I want to buy it in now if it also lists the 1 year forecast as the stock moving lower, only $106 per share, which, by the way, if we're keeping score here, is still an 1,800% increase from the 1 year, 1 day price control. Just saying. Next is what we got. We got the CNN Business side of things. And CNN forecasts is more of what I'm seeing. And it's actually kind of comical just looking at it. The high, median, and low 12-month forecast is sending the stock down 90+% within 12 months. And I think we can all kind of agree that that is going to happen. Now, I said not too long ago that I will be giving my thoughts on what Robinhood has been doing for this past day. And that time is now. At first, when I first read the article of what Robinhood said, I gotta admit, I liked it a little bit. Because the way I saw it is that there wasn't that much meat left on the bone. That being said, it was just that whole system that they were placing together would only be there to help prevent, younger investors from only really hurting themselves. And I really think that Robinhood has acted this way because of past experiences and criticisms that they've received in the past because of similar situations. I'm talking about, during the summer, a young boy who had ended up taking his life because of how much capital he was so easily granted access to from Robinhood. And he found himself heavily in debt because of that. So early this morning when I read that first article and when I did majority of the script writing for this video. I did think that Robinhood had the best intentions in the investor's best interest in mind. I thought they were just trying to protect what could be a newbie in the market, because I think something like 90+% of their customers are new people to the market. Now, I thought all of that until I saw this next screenshot. Here's a screenshot of a Robinhood investor from my own community, a screenshot showing what Robinhood updated him on. It says, quote, "In light of recent volatility, yada, 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 we have closed your position of 4,500 shares of GME or GameStop at the average price of $118.93 on January 28th, 2021 at 11:24 a.m. End quote. I did the research. I looked up what the stock price was at 11:24 a.m. And yeah, it was $118. But if you guys remember, in the chart portion, I showed you that was the lowest point. In the chart portion of the video, I showed you guys that what had happened before the bell rang, after the bell rang, and what ended up happening throughout the day. At some point in the day, it traded at $118 per share, but it recovered throughout the day, ending at $311 per share. That's a difference of almost 164% from where they sold and where it ended up. Now, if Robinhood did this to me and they updated me on my position of what they did, I'd be losing my mind. I'd be going nuts. The whole point of Robinhood, the Robinhood story, is a story about taking from the rich and giving to the poor. So if you're gonna name your company about that, you shouldn't be doing things like this and selling positions when nobody asked you to. Now, in the early stages of Robinhood, when I originally started hopping onto Robinhood, which was 2014 or 2015, and they've come a long way, but they used to go at bat for the investors so much more than what they are doing now. I am highly disgusted in Robinhood's actions, and what I've seen in the aftermath of Thursday's edition of the stock market. However, that being said, I am glad that Robinhood understands their customer base and understands that, their newbie customer base should probably have some, more barriers in place for them not to be getting into risky scenarios like this when they probably don't even mean to, or they don't have the means to be taking on that risk. But to completely make decisions for somebody to sell their whole position of 4,500 shares at the lowest price of the day, that's a completely different beast. That's crossing the line. That's almost criminal. That's how it's. Now that only leaves me to my next question. Now, if you're on Robinhood and you believe that you're a more experienced investor, you have some time in the market, you're a more experienced trader, what are you still doing on Robinhood when there's so many different better options out there? I'd like to put a cap on this video by saying congratulations to anybody that has dealt with Wall Street Bets on a daily basis. If you or someone deals with Wall Street Bets, or communicates and deals with them, their Reddit page on a daily basis, please reach out to them, or take this personally. Congratulations, because what you guys have done is truly entertaining, amazing. I mean, I'm just at a loss of words. It's fascinating what you guys have done, and to keep a short story short, I'm impressed. This is not something that happens every day in Wall Street, or at all for that matter. What Wall Street Bets has done, and what other people around it have done, is basically said to old Wall Street, hey man, we're sick of your old ways, and we're here to show you how serious we are and how quick we can turn the tides on you. And they really, they've done it. Now, this whole stunt and experience is the beginning of a new era in the stock market, and I truly believe that. But I know, the SEC will probably hop in here at some point, making some new rules and regulations to help, make that gap bigger between the rich and the poor. Keeping the rich richer and the poor poorer. But we all know that Wall Street Bets, or anybody, any younger, hungry investor that, retail investor that wants to get it done, they will find ways to, they will find new ways to combat those barriers. And to continue to prove us wrong. And I'm here for it every step of the way. I'm backing them. Well, everyone, it has been an interesting 24 to 48 hours for me over here on my end. And that is all I have for you guys on this one. So guys, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.
If you don't listen that much, some of y'all